Let's start with implementing our reducer. For this, let us revise the third principle which we have seen in our previous lecture. Changes are made with pure functions. To specify how the state changes in response to action, we write pure functions called as reducers. It tells we need to write pure functions to determine how the state changes, and how the state can be changed. It can only be changed by dispatching the actions. And who will be changing the state? Our reducer will be changing our state. So reducers are pure functions which takes the current state and action as its argument and returns a new state without mutating our existing state. Coming back to the code, we have successfully created our action creator which is returning our action. Now we are working on our reducer. I will write the comment, and here simply I will be writing reducer. And reducer is nothing but it is a function which will be taking two arguments, initial state and action. So first we need to determine our application state. As a chef, all I want to keep track is number of pizza based on kitchen. So our state is nothing but it is simply a numeric value. So here I will be creating one variable initial state. This is nothing but object. Inside this, my state is nothing but simple numeric value. And as a chef, what I want to keep track of, I want to keep track of pizza base. So here I will write the property as pizza base. Initially, as soon as I open the shop, I will be having 100 pizza. I just want to keep track of this pizza base. So that is the reason that will be passed inside this initial state. Apart from this, we can have multiple properties like toppings, vegetables. But as of now, let us assume our chef is only tracking this pizza base. Now, our initial state is ready. Now, it's time to define our reducer. I will come down. Below this, I will write here const. I will be writing reducer. It is nothing but function. I will be using arrow function here. And this reducer function will be taking state and action as its argument. So here I will be writing state separated by comma. Here I am going to write action. You can pass the same name, or based on your requirement you can give any name. But our initial state of the application is stored inside this variable. So for this parameter, I will be making as default parameter by passing this value. So for this state, I will assign the value as initial state. So now you can see inside the reducer, I am passing my current application state along with action. Successfully, we have completed this step. And what this reducer function will be doing? Reducer function is going to return new state based on the current state and action which we have defined. So here, my first action is order type. Maybe I am having another action with the type order pizza, another action with the type order ice cream. So I will be having multiple types. Based on what is the action I want to dispatch, I have to perform the operation and I have to return new object from my reducer. So here, using this switch statement, I will determine that I will write a switch. Inside this, I will pass action dot type. And this action is nothing but this entire thing. This is my object. So this object will be passed here. And from that object, I am just accessing this type, action dot type. If it is order pizza, what I have to do? I will just open this. I will write my case, and here I will write order pizza. If my action dot type is order pizza, then what I will do? I will write here return. Simply, I'm just going to return this new object, and inside my state, I'm having pizza base property. I will paste it here. What I have to do? I just have to reduce pizza base by 1. So here I will write pizza base minus 1. let me tell you what we have done. So our reducer will be taking current state of our application and action as its argument. Action we have already determined, and our action creator is returning our entire action. Now our reducer also needs initial state of our application. So for that, I have just passed the default parameter and I have assigned this initial state to my state argument. Then here I am having action. So inside this action, this entire thing will be passed, entire object. And we already know our action is an object. And there, using switch statement, I am passing the expression if my action dot type, which means here I can have multiple types. I am checking if my action dot type, if it is equal to order pizza, then this case will be executed. If I am having another type, here I will be writing another case, order burger. Accordingly, whatever operation we have written, that will be returned as new updated object. And if I am not performing any action, here I will write default. Simply, I'm just going to return my state. Default, I will write return. Simply, I will be returning my state. That's it. Do not get confused. Whenever we want to update our application, we are going to dispatch action. Once our action is dispatched, we will handle that using our reducer function. And this is how we will be writing reducer function. It is nothing but a function which will be taking current state of our application and action as its argument, and in return it will be returning new updated state, and that updated state will be passed, and accordingly our application will be updated. But in our state we can have multiple properties. As I mentioned, we can have toppings. Inside that we can give multiple values, and we have already seen reducers are pure functions. In return, it will be returning new updated state, but it will not be mutating our original state. So what we will do, maybe in future we are going to have multiple properties inside this state. For example, here I can have toppings which will be having array of data. Here I will write cheese, and then here I will write capsicum. So maybe I am having another property inside this initial state, and based on the customer request, toppings will be added. So in that case, my cheese or capsicum will also be reduced in the state. So here, whenever customer is ordering the pizza without any extra request, I only want to decrease the pizza base by 1. But this entire property has to remain same. So what we will do, we will use this spread operator and we are going to copy our entire state as it is. So using this, I will be getting my entire object copy, and inside that object, I am only updating my pizza base property and I am reducing the pizza base by 1. I am not touching this property. So it becomes very important whenever a reducer function is returning dated state. First, we have to make copy of the state. Only then, whatever properties we need to update in the state, only those properties has to be updated. Directly, if we are having multiple properties and without making a copy, if I update in this way, all the properties will be overridden and this will be my new updated state. So always remember, reducers are pure function and their state is immutable object. So that is the reason we should always make a copy, and whatever properties we need to update, only those properties has to be updated. If customer has made extra request, they need toppings as well. Accordingly, you can pass the toppings, but still, for safer side, you should always copy the state, because you never know, maybe in future you will be adding extra values inside this state. So always make a copy and accordingly update the properties inside our reducer. As of now, we only have one action type, order pizza. So here we have written only one case, order pizza. When the action order pizza is dispatched using reducer, I will be returning this updated state where I am decreasing the pizza base by 1. As of now, let me remove this.